Hello, I'm Sarah from Worldwide Lawyers, and today I'm going to be talking about buying property in Italy. So this will be helpful for anybody who is thinking about buying property in Italy or anyone who is in the very early stages. If you're a British national, there's no problem for you to buy property in Italy, but you will need to obtain a tax code first. Getting a tax code is relatively straightforward and can be done by personally visiting the local tax office in Italy. Alternatively, the estate agent or your lawyer will be able to assist you with this. So before taking any formal stages in purchasing a property in Italy, you should instruct an independent English-speaking lawyer in Italy who has experience dealing with property matters. You should avoid any lawyers that are recommended to you by your estate agent or developer. And the reason for this is that you do need to make sure that the lawyer you instruct is independent so that they are acting solely to protect your best interests and that they don't have any conflict of interest with the estate agent or the developer. So the legal buying process boils down really to three main stages. The first stage is really the buying proposal, and this is a document that is prepared once you have seen the property you like and you have agreed the purchase price with the vendor. This proposal document means that the property is taken off the market for a few weeks whilst your lawyer has the opportunity to undertake any initial checks. You should make sure your lawyer looks at this document before you sign it, because there's usually a 5% deposit payable on signing this document. Now this deposit is refundable and you are able to pull out of this transaction at this point if there are any legal issues. So once these initial checks have been done, then you'll proceed to the what's known as the preliminary contract. And this really is a legally binding document whereby the seller agrees to sell the property and the buyer agrees to buy it. And a further 20% deposit is usually payable at this point. It will also include a description of the property, it will set out the terms and conditions of the sale, including the rights of way and information about the timings of the buying process. So if either the buyer or seller pull out after signing this document, then the deposit will be lost in the case of the buyer, or if the seller pulls out, then double the deposit money will have to be refunded to the buyer. So really this does commit each party to the sale really, and you will need to make sure that your lawyer is happy with all their searches and the information about the property and advises you about this before you enter into this contract. So between the preliminary contract and actually completing the purchase, there's usually a period of around about 3 months. And during this time, a notary is appointed. So notaries actually deal with the transaction, the property transaction, but they are government appointed officials and they don't act for either party. They're neutral between the buyer and the seller. When you do come to complete the property transaction, this will be signed at the notary's office, and each of the parties involved in the transaction will usually be present unless they have a power of attorney in place, which means that somebody else can be present and sign on their behalf. So if you're not able to actually attend at the notary's office on the day of completion, then you can get your lawyer to prepare a power of attorney and you can ask usually your lawyer to appear on your behalf. If you do want to appear in person, then that's fine for you to do so, but unless you speak fluent Italian, you will need to make sure that you also take a translator with you. And the reason for this is that if the notary is not fully satisfied that you understand the nature, the content of the document, the completion deed, then they may refuse to actually complete the transaction. So it is important that you do get either your lawyer or a translator to accompany you to the notary's office. So if the notary is happy that everybody understands the transaction and is happy with everything that's been done, then all parties will sign the completion deed. At this point also the remainder of the purchase price will also be payable, as will any of the purchase taxes as well. So at that point you'll then be given the keys to your Italian property, and the notary will then make sure that the purchase deed or the completion deed is sent to the land registry so that it can be formally registered in your name. So I hope that's been helpful to you. As discussed in the video, it is important that you do instruct an independent English-speaking lawyer in Italy to assist you with the property purchase, just to give you, just to help you in dealing with an unfamiliar legal process and also the foreign language. If you do need assistance in finding a lawyer in Italy to instruct, then by all means contact Worldwide Lawyers, and we can put you in touch with an English-speaking independent lawyer in Italy who has experience assisting UK buyers purchase property in Italy.